Visit our sponsor, Infidel Body Armor, right now. Get the AMTV Armor Kit Special because it's sick. Save big. Get the Viper Modular Operator Plate Carrier, your choice of color. Infidel Level 3 curved armor plates, 10 by 12 inch, front and back AR-500 steel with 1/4 inch build-up standard. Tactical Trauma Individual First Aid Kit, and AR-15 magazine pouches, enough to hold 6 30-round magazines. Infidel Body Armor just won't quit. Call 1-888-608-6605. That's 1-888-608-6605. Or click the link below right now. Lifetime warranty, free shipping. Hey everybody. I'm Christopher Green. You're tuning in to AMTV, Alternative Media Television. It is Wednesday, June 29, 2016. Thank you to everybody who tuned into our show yesterday. Could you meaningfully work and be a part of a normalized society without interacting and morphing into the Borg that makes up this transhumanist world and environment that exists today? The answer to that question is no, of course not, folks. Of course not. You need them. You're dependent on them. They've created this system for a reason. There's a reason people like George Orwell warned about this in his famous classic 1984. AMTV Live, broadcasting live 2 days a week now, every Tuesday and Thursday from 1 p.m. Arizona time. That's 1 p.m. Pacific. Thank you for your tremendous support. Thank you to all of you, the dozens of you that subscribed just yesterday to AMTV On Demand, our commercial-free AMTV broadcast. That's $4.95 a month, $49.95 a year. It truly supports what we do, and I'm so humbled. Thank you so much. You are what supports this entire platform. Today I want to talk about the Istanbul terror attack. They said originally there was like 50 plus people dead, 150 people injured, and then kind of backtracked and it was like 30 people dead and less than 150 people injured. Bombs going off, terror attack. Erdogan links this to ISIS, the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. Again, a heinous, hideous act. Couple quick gut reactions, just talked about this on Facebook Live if you were tuning in. Today I want to talk about the Istanbul terror attack and my initial gut reaction thoughts. First of all, the initial reaction was this just proves that you're not safe. It just goes to show that you're not safe. That foreign governments, whether or not it's Turkey or it's the United States of America, cannot protect you against this terrorism. Even at international airports where security is extremely, extremely tight. Notice how they just blew up everybody and shot everybody before they got to the security checkpoints. You see, if you just push the security checkpoints back, even if it becomes more draconian, more Orwellian, well, the terrorists will just keep getting pushed back before they can get and you get to security. You are not safe at all, and the government can't protect you. It's exactly why Barack Obama, wanting to take away the guns, won't do shit but disarm you from the terrorists that are murdering you in cold blood. You see, nobody wants to ask the more important question: where did this jihadi terrorism come from? Where did ISIS come from? Because it didn't even exist 1 or 2 years ago. Didn't even exist. Ask your friends and family, had you ever heard of ISIS before? No. The answer is a firm no. Because ISIS came out of thin air. It spawned and was created from Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda. Barack Obama's even admitted this recently, as well as the Pentagon and the State Department. They've been arming, they've been funding what they call, through their terminology, really just mass propaganda, moderate terrorists. Although I don't know the difference between moderate and radical terrorism or extreme terrorism. I think cutting people's heads off is extreme, whether or not you're a moderate or you're a radical extremist. Where did this violence and hatred come from? Why are we seeing more terrorist events, whether or not this is Orlando? Even though the mainstream media just wants to play the blame game. They just want to make it about gays. Homosexuality. Yeah, the killer was gay. Let's not talk about the whole ISIS thing. Even though he claimed allegiance by calling 911 multiple times and said, hey, I'm doing this because of ISIS. And I want the United States of America and Barack Obama to stop bombing the shit out of my home country that makes up Afghanistan. Nobody wants to talk about that. Why? Because it doesn't feed in to the bullshit narrative the United States, through its Western media, wants to propel. Also yesterday, we talked about the EU Superstate, the creation of the United States of Europe, how this has all been pre-planned. This is all a part of the engineered Brexit, the stepping down of David Cameron that was a ploy to put pressure on the Leavers. Not that it shouldn't be congratulated that there's not an organic element. I've talked about this ad nauseum. The people have pushed back. This is a populist movement. But be very careful and cautious and make sure you, the people, do not allow these politicians to buy any time, because it's exactly what they want. I talked about Article 50, how it could take at least, according to the pundits, 2 to 10 years for the Brexit to actually occur and for the UK actually to leave. You say they want to buy themselves more time so they can integrate this New World Order agenda that makes up the EU Superstate, a far more powerful draconian entity than the original 28-member bloc European Union ever was. The dissolution of sovereign armies into one superstate army. Think about that for a moment, folks. It's freaking crazy. One central bank. We see this now with the ECB. Loss of the ability to tax within its respective countries. Really just the loss and secession of all power and control into a single technocracy that makes up people like the whore that is Angela Merkel. This is all real. It's not conspiracy. And it's why we here at AMTV could see it coming from a mile away. People say, oh, Christopher, that's conspiracy theory. Oh, that's conspiracy. Oh, yeah, none of this is going to happen, you know? Government can be trusted. Oh, mainstream media, oh yeah, they got my best interests at heart. That's why I watch Anderson Cooper and Don Lemon, because they're such good guys. They're so sanitized, you know? This like genderless, binary society. That's why both of those guys, and nothing against homosexuality or anything like that, but just they're both gay for a reason, because it, you know, kind of sanitizes the message. It's what the people want. This, you know, genderless, cut your dick off, you know, Bruce Jenner society. No one wants to ask the real questions about, well, where did the jihadi terrorism come from? Does it have anything to do with Barack Obama destroying and bombing the shit out of the Middle East through his 2 terms as presidency, launching more drone strikes than George W. Bush ever did? Fact. Does it have anything to do with that? Has it anything to do with the covert operations in Libya that made up Benghazigate, the death of CIA liaison Christopher Stevens and several other Americans, and the transfer of weaponry, heavy artillery, and guns, gun running to places like Syria to intentionally attempt, although it hasn't been successful yet, to take out Bashar al-Assad? Does it have anything to do with Barack Obama dropping bombs on schools without borders, hospitals, killing men, women, and children? I mean, what if, put yourself in Syria for a moment. Afghanistan, Iraq, where some estimates say 500,000 people in Syria have already died, but millions once you tally up the other countries in the Middle East. Imagine waking up one moment and a bomb being dropped on your house, or your neighbors, or your friends. How would that make you feel? Would you be like, you know, America's the greatest country in the world. I really like Barack Obama. Or would you be immediately radicalized when you see those bombs go off and you're holding your loved ones in your arms as they're just bleeding out? Those are the heinous acts that have been committed. But the mainstream media only focuses, like on Orlando, on 50 dead bodies. And I'm not taking away from that at all. And I know that sounds crass, but they won't even compare that to the millions of people dead in the Middle East. All is a direct consequence and result of U.S. illegal, anti-constitutional, interventionist effort. Don't want to talk about that. And again, it's not just Barack Obama, it was George W. Bush as well. A continuation of the New World Order agenda. Again, these people are just teleprompter readers. Barack Obama, a better teleprompter reader, granted, than George cocaine-sniffing Bush, allegedly, dodging the draft. One and the same. No two parties, just one. The elites have not lost. They're already talking about ushering in, for God's sakes, a European Union superstate. A monolithic union. Far greater, far more dangerous than the petite European 28-member bloc Eurozone ever was. Obama still wants your guns. He wants to take them away. He did from the very first day he took office. He's going to use every single one of these events, real, fake or not, organic or engineered, false flag or not, and he's going to use it for justification to take your Second Amendment right away. We talked about this on Facebook just a moment ago. Of course, the Second Amendment protects the First Amendment. Ideas are most powerful, protected by the Second Amendment. Your right to form a well-regulated militia, to defend yourself from an authoritarian Orwellian government. People say, oh, you shouldn't be able to have AK-47, semi-automatic weapons, all these kinds of things. Why not? Who has more power? A government with nuclear bombs and technology and all of these technological weapons, or the dude hanging out in Texas or Arizona, for example, with a semi-automatic weapon? The government can drop a technological bomb and eradicate millions of people around the globe in a snap. Yet the radicals on the left want to equate, semi-automatic weapons to that same technology. It's absolutely ridiculous. If anything, the American people are at a disadvantage to this government, to this control system. And again, all being used as justification. The same jihadi terrorism that Barack Obama has helped to propel, he's now using as justification to achieve the end result and the intention that was the intention from the very beginning. Radicalize his country through his Manchurian presidency, socialize America as they redistribute all the wealth through an engineered 2008-2009 financial crisis, create fear, perpetual, endless, continuous war, so there's always a state of terrorism, and use that force as they push their agenda. The elites have not lost, folks. This is a chess move. The EU superstate, a reality. This terrorism, a reality. Where did it come from? Where did ISIS come from? Ask your friends, those that are uneducated. They will not be able to tell you because they don't know. And this isn't talked about in the mainstream media. It's what we do, why what we do is so important. And it's why what you do by sharing our message and our videos around the world is so important, and your support is so important. This is the real truth. This is the reality. I'm Christopher Green. You're tuning into AMTV, Alternative Media Television. I'd like to hear your questions, comments in the box below. Get this video out everywhere, hard hitting in your face. Click the link below to support our sponsor.